The ultimate battle. Godzilla vs. Spider-Man. Imagine a cityscape under threat, skyscrapers shaking, and the ground trembling beneath your feet. On one side, we've got the king of the monsters himself, Godzilla. And on the other, everyone's favorite web-slinger, the amazing Spider-Man. In the ultimate showdown between Godzilla and Spider-Man, who would come out on top? Stick around, because we're diving deep into this hypothetical clash of titans. Background on Godzilla. Godzilla first stomped onto the scene back in 1954. Created by Japanese filmmakers, he wasn't just a giant monster causing mayhem. Nope, Godzilla was actually an allegory for nuclear devastation, a reflection of the very real fears post-World War II. Over the years, he's evolved from a villain to an anti-hero, and sometimes even a savior. When it comes to powers and abilities, Godzilla is no joke. He's got that iconic atomic breath, a devastating beam of radioactive energy that can level buildings in seconds. Plus, his immense size and mass make him virtually unstoppable. We're talking about a creature that's over 300 feet tall in some iterations. Godzilla has gone through various transformations. In Japanese cinema, he's often portrayed with a certain depth and complexity. In American adaptations, we've seen him depicted with cutting-edge CGI, emphasizing his sheer scale and power. Background on Spider-Man. Peter Parker made his first appearance in 1962, courtesy of Marvel Comics legends Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. After getting bitten by a radioactive spider, Peter gains incredible powers but never loses that endearing, relatable touch. Spider-Man's powers include superhuman strength, agility, the famous spider sense that alerts him to danger, and of course, his web-slinging abilities. Over the years, he's upgraded his tech, sometimes rocking high-tech suits with all sorts of gadgets, thanks to his genius-level intellect. In the Marvel Universe, Spidey plays a crucial role. He's been part of major story arcs, battled some of the toughest villains, and even joined the Avengers. He transitions from a hesitant teen hero to a seasoned crime fighter, all while juggling everyday life. Comparing strengths and weaknesses, Godzilla's main advantages are pretty obvious. He's massive, insanely durable, and packs a punch, or should I say, a stomp, that can flatten a city block. His atomic breath is a game-changer, capable of causing catastrophic damage. Spider-Man, on the other hand, brings agility and speed to the table. He's incredibly quick, can dodge attacks with ease, and uses his environment to his advantage. Plus, he's a genius, which means he's always thinking several steps ahead, strategizing on the fly. But they both have their weaknesses. Godzilla isn't exactly nimble. He's huge, which makes him slow and perhaps a bit predictable in his movements. Spider-Man's vulnerabilities stem from his human side. He faces colossal foes like Godzilla, his usual bag of tricks might not cut it. Limited resources and the sheer scale of the threat could pose serious problems. The battleground setting. Picture a bustling coastal city, something like New York, but with a mix of towering skyscrapers and waterfront access. This environment is key because it gives both characters the chance to play to their strengths. Spider-Man can swing between buildings, use alleyways for cover, and generally make the most of the urban jungle. For Godzilla, the coastal setting allows him to emerge from the ocean, his traditional entry point, and wreak havoc on land. Environmental factors are going to play a huge role here. Scenario building. Let's imagine a scientific experiment gone horribly wrong. Maybe some rogue scientists tampering with radioactive materials on a boat offshore. The resulting accident sends out signals that attract Godzilla, who senses a disruption in the natural order. Meanwhile, Peter Parker picks up on some odd readings with his tech. Strange energy signatures, maybe reports of a massive creature sighted off the coast. Being the hero he is, Spider-Man goes to investigate. Their paths converge as Godzilla makes landfall. The battle begins. In round 1, Spider-Man swings into action. He tries to slow Godzilla down with his webs, shooting them at his eyes, joints, anything that might be sensitive. But let's be real, to Godzilla, those webs are like annoying little threads. Spider-Man quickly realizes that conventional tactics aren't working. He uses his agility to zip around Godzilla, climbing up buildings to get to eye level. He might deploy some tech, maybe sonic devices to disorient the giant monster. Godzilla, slightly irritated now, unleashes a powerful tail swipe, forcing Spider-Man to make a narrow escape. The stakes are rising. Spider-Man starts looking for a turning point. Maybe he discovers that Godzilla reacts negatively to certain frequencies or that there's a way to trigger a hibernation state. Possible outcomes. So who wins this clash? In a Spider-Man victory scenario, our friendly neighborhood hero uses his scientific genius to come up with a plan. Perhaps he whips up a device that emits frequencies disrupting Godzilla's equilibrium, or maybe he teams up with other heroes or the military to exploit a weakness. On the flip side, in a Godzilla victory scenario, the king of monsters is just too mighty. Despite Spider-Man's best efforts, Godzilla's overwhelming power prevails. But there's also the possibility of a stalemate or even a team-up. Maybe both realize there's a greater threat, like another kaiju or a looming catastrophe caused by the failed experiment. Fan opinions and theories. Polls across various fan forums show a pretty even split. Some believe Spider-Man's cunning and resourcefulness give him the edge, while others insist that Godzilla's raw power is unbeatable. Comic book writers suggest that while Spider-Man has faced giant foes before, Godzilla is in a league of his own. Movie directors who've worked on Godzilla films highlight his near indestructibility and the symbolic nature of his character. Conclusion. On one hand, we have Godzilla, a colossal force of nature with devastating powers. On the other, Spider-Man, a nimble, intelligent hero with a knack for overcoming the odds. It's a classic brains versus brawn scenario. At the end of the day, it's all about engaging our imaginations and debating with fellow fans. So what do you think? Who would win in this ultimate showdown? Drop your thoughts, theories, and epic battle ideas in the comments.